Ravens, how are we all doing? So, I did promise, I've really got to stop starting my videos with so, deal with it. That's even worse start. I promised I would do a mini-series on corporate goth. Sorry it's taken me a while to start it, but we are at part 1. I will do part 2 some point next week, and part 3. What is going on with my hair? What's that? What's going on here? It's all gone a little bit funny. There we go. Part 2 next week, part 3 maybe next week, maybe the week after. Okay, so it's 3 shorter videos, try and do everything in one. And I have my list. Hi Amy. I have my list of things. So I suppose the question is, what is corporate goth? Corporate goth is being able to still express yourself as a goth, as alternative, but still be appropriate for the job that you have in the corporate world. So office-based, etc, etc. So I have a corporate job. Is it a corporate job? Yeah, it's a corporate job. I work as an IT project manager, program manager, whatever you want to call me, for an IT firm. It's fairly small, it's local to me, up and coming, does really good things, but they're not as strict as other companies are. Now, I have come from a world of a big corporate company where they were very strict, to the point where long hair, I got shouted at for going on site to a customer client without tying it and having it plaited back or in a bun, because it was deemed inappropriate to have my hair loose, to which I told them where to go. How I have my hair, if it's long and straight, is none of their damn business when I go to customer site, in my opinion. However, had I turned up with a mohawk and painted bright blue or dyed bright blue, I could understand they had an issue with that. So corporate goth or corporate alternative to me is just being able to express yourself wearing what you want to wear without upsetting company policy by towing the line a little bit with dress codes. And I came up with a way to remember it all, because there's a lot of things you need to think about. And without tying yourself down to suit and tie rules, there's things you need to address in a sense to be able to wear what you want in your way without upsetting other people. And I know we're in the 21st century, people shouldn't be upset by what you wear. In the corporate world, it's a little bit different. You have to remember that much as you are yourself, you are still representing a company, you are representing a brand. So much as YouTubers can do what they like, they can be green head, yellow head, purple head, black head, spikes, no spikes, bald, paint themselves to look like a unicorn every time they come on screen. That is their brand. When you work for a corporate-based company, so a company that has any form of client, you kind of have to adjust a little bit to make sure that you're not overstepping boundaries. So I've come up with a really clever way of trying to remember all the little bits and pieces without having to have a big long list of bits and pieces, if that makes sense. So I have come up with the alpaca. It's going to work, trust me. You will remember this. If you can spell the word alpaca, I can't even say it, then you can remember this. This will be easy. So this is my opinion, my experience of being in my 40s, having been in a corporate job since I was 19, and expressing myself throughout that through companies of 300,000 employees to 30,000 employees to 5 employees. I've done it all. So this is my way of remembering the little bits and pieces when picking an outfit in the morning of what I want to wear to work. And it's called the alpaca. So we're going to start this trending somewhere. So the first letter of the alpaca is A, and it stands for appropriate. What I mean by appropriate is it appropriate for the job you do, not any other thing in that. So, for example, if you are a nurse, you don't want to be wearing 6-inch heels all day. You want to be wearing appropriate footwear. If you work in an office, good evening, Becky. Nice to have you join us. Yeah, if you work in an office where you have a million flights of stairs and no lift, are your shoes appropriate? Is your skirt or your dress an appropriate, what's the word I'm looking for? Fabric that you can move and walk upstairs easily. I have done this. I have a pencil skirt from Primark that is a nice stretchy fabric on the top, and the bottom is about this much of lace, and the seam isn't stretchy. So every time I walk upstairs, I look like a stupid little penguin trying to wobble because I can't stretch my knees up high enough because of where the seam sits to walk up the stairs. So I now know if I'm going to a client and they don't have stairs, I can wear a pencil skirt. If I'm going into my office that has 3 flights of stairs, it's not always a sensible option if I've got meetings and customers and all this sort of thing going on. So is it appropriate for the job you do? Do you have some form of... I'm trying to think of examples. I'm thinking on my feet here. Is it... You know, if you're going to be outside a lot, you don't want to be wearing thin, flimsy fabrics. If you're going to be in all day and you're in an office where the heating's on, you don't want thick fabrics that are going to make you too hot. Velvet is the one to make sure you get right. Velvet can make you very, very hot very quickly. I find anyway, but then I'm always hot. But if I pair velvet with a chenille cardigan, that's okay if I know I'm going out on site and I'm going to be in the fresh air. If I'm with a customer and I know they're going to have the heating on, I know I'm going to be dead before the end of an hour because I'm not going to be able to breathe properly. So is it appropriate for the job you've got? Is it... You know, you don't want to be in a job where maybe you have to get up and down ladders to get things off shelves for customers and find that your skirt's too long, so you're tripping over it all day. Those are the little things you need to think about whether it's appropriate. What is your job, and will it get in the way? Will it make you too hot? Will you get too cold? Will you be able to move in it? And yeah, does it suit the style of job you're doing? There's no point going out onto a building site because you're the foreman of a building site representing a company wearing a mini skirt and thick tights because you're probably going to get covered in mud. You're better off wearing dark jeans. That kind of thinking about the appropriateness of the outfit to the job you have. Hi Maggie, how you doing? So my next one in the alpaca is the letter L, which stands for length. And I'm not just talking length of skirts. Although, again, if you have flights of stairs, make sure that the length of your dress covers your bum at bare minimum. Or that you have tights, leggings that are thick enough you're not going to show everybody yesterday's breakfast. I have made this mistake quite recently. I wore one of my Killstar dresses to work, thought it was long enough, asked the Griffin, was it long enough? He said yes. Put a thick pair of tights on, thought they were fine. Went up the stairs and one of the lads said to me, you might want to pull your dress down when you go upstairs, love, because I could see your pants. And it's like, okay. And it's embarrassing. I mean, this lad I know really well, but it's embarrassing. So think about the length of things. Also, if you have a job, maybe you work in an office where you do filing, or you have to get things off a shelf and folders. How long is your top? You don't want to have a top that comes up and shows your bra, your side boob, too much belly, anything like that. And of course that does depend on your figure. If I had abs, I'd be quite happy to show them off. I personally don't like my tops riding up at all in the office because I don't want anyone seeing any of my flesh. So yeah, is it appropriate? Have you got a job where, not appropriate, is it the right length? Have you got a job where you reach across for things? Don't necessarily worry about, should we start that one again? I got all excited because I was on a roll and lost what I was saying. If you're in a job where you reach across for things, be careful of the length of cuff. You want to watch bell sleeves, lace sleeves, anything that could get caught That's always one that I forget about. I have done things, not in this current job, but in a previous job where I've had to reach across to pick things up, and I've ended up having to untangle myself from something on the desk because I've worn lace and my blouse has got in the way. So lengths of things, tops especially. A lot of people will think about skirts or dresses. Yeah, I'm quite glad about that. I am sat at a desk most of the time, Becky, but we've got an upper floor and a lower floor in our office, and we do end up running up and down to answer the door to the postman or deliveries, which we get continually, or we're running up and downstairs to different meeting rooms or our tech lab. So stairs are quite, I would say probably 50% of my walking day is up and down the stairs in the office, just because it's where I need to be. So I'm always very cautious of how long is my dress, does it need leggings, can I get away with tights. My normal rule is if it's a hand width above my knee or shorter, I wear leggings. If it's a hand width above my knee or below, I can get away with tights. That's the way I do it. However you want to do it is up to you. That's my little rule for myself, because the last thing I want, again, is for one of the lads to tell me my butt's on show going up the stairs. But when a lot of people will think about the length of their skirts or the length of their dresses, they always forget about tops. So certainly if you're reaching for something and you've got a top that just sits to the top of your skirt, be aware that when you reach up, the fabric might go with you and you could be showing the edge of your bra. It's one of those things that's just, people in the office talk. They'll probably go, look at her throwing off her underwear in the office. We all get them. We've got them in our office, and it's not always the women. So yeah, just think about lengths of tops as well as skirts. Is it wrong that I only use the lift? Not at all, Becky. I wish we had one. Because when the postman rings 15 times before I've got to the second flight of stairs, it's annoying. Anyway, no, it's not wrong that you only use the lift. Feel free. So, we have done A and L. So we have, is it appropriate for your job? And watch your lengths. So the next letter in the world ALPACA is P, which stands for plain. I am not somebody who wears big bold prints. I prefer my dresses like this with a little bit of lace and then the rest of it's plain. Most of my clothing is like that. The only clothing I have that is not like that is my collection of British wrestling t-shirts and my Killstar t-shirts that I wear to bed. They don't even leave the house. As far as prints go, if you have prints that are on the alternative scale, and I'm not talking about swallows, I'm not talking about butterflies, things like that that are dark and they may just be in a dark colour. I'm talking about prints on things like hell bunny dresses that are zombies, or prints that are death head cupcakes or may have drips of blood. I find if you wear those styles of dresses, you look far more professional for a job and a brand of a corporate company if you wear that style in a plain fabric. And you can wear your dark reds, your dark greens, your dark purples, but the style of the dress is fine. It's your choice of print. You can look very, dare I say, childish. I had a Hell Bunny dress that I sold about a year ago, and it was, for some reason in my head when I looked at it, it was baby pink. It wasn't, it was black, but it had baby pink, lavender and lemon colours on it with like rainbows with gothic mermaids and upside down crosses and skulls with knives through there. If I'd worn that to work, I probably would have raised quite a few eyebrows. It also would have come across as unprofessional. It's more of a weekend dress than a job dress. It's not something you could go out and represent the company, or I certainly couldn't represent the company in a dress like that, as opposed to wearing the same style dress, and it was a beautiful skater dress in a plain colour. If it had been plain black, I probably could have got away with it. What's that, Becky? I work in a hospital. and several years ago they brought in uniforms. They were stiff polyester shirts, pink and white stripy, like deck chairs. Oh, good God. And they were short. I had to wear vests underneath. Oh, that's ridiculous. Yeah, having to layer something under a uniform because it's too short is tragic. I've had I used to work for TGI Fridays in my spare time. Now currently TGI Fridays have very nice uniforms. Back in the day that I worked for them, they might as well have been crop top, blue, white and red striped polo shirts, like rugby shirt material. And they were awful. Not only were they awful to wash and they never got any of the stains out, but they shrank every time you washed them. And if you think you're a waitress, you've got kids, and the more and more and more flesh showing no, can't be dealing with that. So what was I talking about? So prints. I stay away from prints in general life. Things like Killstar, and I can talk about Killstar because they brought out a lot of graphic print stuff. If you look at the Baphomet print that they've got at the moment, a lot of people find Baphomet offensive, mainly because they don't understand it. They look at it and go, "Ah, Satan!" It's got nothing to do with that at all. But the print they've brought out, if you look at it closely, rather than just having Baphomet, they have Baphomet with his ribcage open and guts spilling out, and it's quite gory. So on the alternative scale, when you buy a print and wear something on a weekend, fine. Just remember the print may not be appropriate for work. Certain prints can be deemed childish. If you're in a corporate job when you're looking to rise up through the ranks, you don't want to be wearing something that other people look at you and think you look like a child that should be at play school. So try and stick to plainer options. I also find when you're doing things corporate, I wear probably, let me ask the Griffin, how many times a week do I wear Killstar to work, dress-wise? 4? 3, 4?
3, yeah.
So 3 or 4 times a week out of a 5-day week, if I'm in work. Sometimes I work from home. But if I'm in work, 3 out of 4 times I will be wearing a Killstar dress. Now, of my Killstar dresses, ones I won't wear to work are my Meowgical one with the cat and the kitty bubble eyes on my boobs because it's not appropriate, and my high neck lace one because it's too going out dress. I also don't wear ones like the Counter Couture that have the straps and things off them. I don't wear my ones that's got any studs and rivets around the neck. Purely it doesn't work for work anyway. And I don't wear my absinthe dress that's got all the mesh open up here. I do wear the doll dresses. I have worn the Tartan Darklands dresses with leggings underneath. I've got my cathedral dress out for tomorrow. That's tomorrow's outfit. And this is the Heather Baby doll, which I wore today with my beautiful cameo from Array Jewellery. Shameless plug. So yeah, this was today's outfit with a blazer, a jersey blazer that I got from Yours Clothing, and a pair of leggings because my dress is a little bit short. So to say you can't wear Killstar to work in a corporate job, I personally don't agree with. I think it's how you style it. Certain things like I love this dress, Amanda. It's one of my top dresses. It goes every occasion. It's a party dress, it's a funeral dress, it's a shopping dress, it's a meeting dress. It's just amazing. It feels so nice. What was I talking about before you interrupted me telling me I look nice? I've totally lost the plot.
Different Killstar dresses.
Killstar dresses, yeah. So I've probably worn 70% of my Killstar collection to work at one time or another. I don't find them inappropriate for work as long as I wear leggings, not tights. However, disclaimer, I have a job where I have quite a relaxed dress code. In fact, me going in my Heather Baby doll dress today, I'm probably one of the smartest ones in there. Now, I don't wear makeup to work. I can't be bothered at 6 o'clock in the morning to put anything on this. It takes far too long and I feel all dirty by the end of the day. Oh, thank you, Becky. So, dress-wise, my Blessed Bee, the new one with the white and the thing, the Prudence dress, I've worn that to work. I've worn the Cathedral dress to work. The Bathory dress I've worn to work, but with a t-shirt underneath it instead of a vest top or the little slip that comes with it. I've worn this one, obviously. I've worn so many of my Killstar dresses to work because I don't deem them inappropriate corporate wear. The ones I do kind of borderline just about get away with are ones like the Darklands dresses. So the grey tartan one and the black one with the collar, purely for the fact that they're more like tops. They are short. So having worn them once to work, I'm probably not going to do it again because I don't feel comfortable. So I too try to go for the slightly longer Killstar dresses, not that there's much in it. But yeah, if you style it right, if you don't go overboard and make a big fuss that it's a Killstar dress, there is no reason why you can't wear them to work. Pop on a plain cardigan over the top, that kind of thing. The dresses I wouldn't wear to work, and I don't own anyway, are the ones with the star print on them, or any of the kind of Rob Zombie print ones, or anything like that, because again,
No.
I feel if you wear something that has a big garish print on it, it's more of a casual weekend dress than it is corporate world. If you wear the same style dress in a plain black or a plain dark blue or a block colour purple and black, you're going to look far more put together and well presented than you would in something with a garish pattern on it. You may disagree. Again, this is just my opinion and what I've been doing for years. And I do have a very good job, and I've risen up through the ranks from right at the bottom. I have no university degree. I left school after doing A-levels and went straight into work. So I don't have a degree to back me up. I've only got experience. So I've started at the bottom and I've stepped up and up and up and up and up to the point now where I'm in quite a senior position. Not the most senior position for what I do, but fairly senior. So for me it's worked, and considering I don't wear makeup or particularly worry about my hair too much during the day, yeah, I feel that if you go for the plainer outfits, it just makes it look that little bit smarter and a little bit more acceptable. People aren't going to notice yes, people notice every day that I don't wear colour. We've had a couple of new starters in the office recently, and one of them said to me, "Do you ever wear any other colour but black?" And I'm like, "No, that's all I wear is black." And they're like, "Okay, that's fine. I just wondered." And it's like, it's not a problem. Talk to me about it. It's fine. Completely lost what I was going to say. Black.
You wear them
Yeah.
black all the time.
If you wear, for example, if you wanted to wear a nice pencil skirt and a lace blouse to work, you would get less problem or less comments, I would say, if you wore it in plain black than if you wore a patterned, I don't know, skirt with some form of gothic print all over it with a black top. People would automatically look at the print and go, "Oh, I wouldn't wear that to work." But if you wear the same outfit in plain, try it out. If you've got two dresses that are similar, one that's got quite a pattern on it, that's quite gothic and alternative, and one that's completely plain, see how people react. Because I've had it. People will quite often stare. You're so lucky that you don't have to wear makeup. I do. I should wear makeup. My eyebrows are a completely different colour to my hair because they're going white. And my skin is quite pale, and I normally look like I've got enough bags under my eyes that I could restock Heathrow Airport. So I probably should wear makeup every day. I just genuinely can't be bothered. there's probably, how many girls are there in our office? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 girls in our office. God, there's only 5 girls in the company. One's a lady who's a little bit older than me. She doesn't wear makeup. One girl who works with me wears makeup and it's pristine every single day. We've had another girl who's just come back who wears a little bit of makeup, and there's another slightly, I don't even know how old she is, lady who works with us who very rarely wears makeup. So it's that, it's a lot of water and sun cream, Becky. I did a video on it when I first started doing lives. I did a video on what I use on my skin. I don't use anything. I use soap, water, and just drink loads and loads and loads of water and a decent sun cream when I go out. That's it. Rest of it's just natural. So yeah, going back to what we were talking about with the prints, I find prints can be a little bit dodgy, if that's the right word, when you're doing something that's in the corporate world, because it depends what they are. It really does. If you've got something that's got moths all over it, that's fine. If you've got something that's got deadhead moths all over it, that's got skulls, people are just going to think you're dressed for Halloween and not your job. It's perception. It's perception. But I do find that with plainer outfits, you can certainly get away with a lot more, and a lot of layering with textures and different fabrics, and get away with it more than wearing prints. I'm going to move on now. So the next one is my favourite, letter A, accessories. So this is the big one, accessories. And part 2 of my live, this mini-series, is going to be outfits, and I'll show you outfits that I put together and where to work. Part 3 is going to be how to accessorise them. I have quite a jewellery collection, from costume jewellery through to fine jewellery like this piece, through to beautiful pieces that the Griffins bought me, through to my Scarlet and Chains collection. I try to wear a different necklace every single day I'm in the office. So far this week I've worn a deadhead moth, I've worn this one, I've worn, what did I have on yesterday? Can't remember. I had big hooped earrings with bull cattle skulls hanging off them going into work the other day. Yeah, there's ways of accessorising, and when you accessorise, again, choose your accessories carefully that they're not going to offend anyone. I wouldn't wear anything in work that, despite what I know about what I wear and what I have researched and what I am fully aware of, I wouldn't wear to work any necklace that had a symbol that somebody else would go, that's a cult, that's this, that's satanic, this is... We have various different religions, from Sikh to Christian to pagan, all in our office. I wouldn't want to upset or offend anybody. It's also, again, having that maturity to know what to pair and what not to pair with an outfit. I've got some Lucifer sigils, I can never say that word properly, I do apologise. I've got upside down crosses, I've got big skull crosses, I've got all sorts of things. I do choose my accessories carefully to make sure that I'm not wearing something that could be deemed offensive. I do wear a lot of my more fine jewellery, my alchemy, those sorts of pieces. But again, I will show you in part 3 the accessories that I use. Belts. Belts can also make an outfit. So I had an outfit on yesterday that was kind of a plain dress, and I stuck a studded and big holed belt on round it. Loads of compliments on the belt. Nobody noticed that it was the same dress I'd had on 2 or 3 days previously. So a good belt can make an outfit. Another way to accessorise your outfits, your handbag. Your handbag can make and break an outfit. I use my burner bag. The Slayer burner bag from Killstar. I use this every day at the moment. I need to swap it out. But I've taken Wilbur, my White Skull, to work. I've taken my Anne Stokes bags to work. Your handbag normally sits under your desk or in a locker. So you can dress an outfit up and make it more goth with a handbag, and then hide that bag so no one else really sees it, but you know it's there, and it's like a little bit of gothic comfort in the corner. You could probably even get away. You could probably get away with 90% of the bags they sell on Killstar to take into work, if they fit what you need. I don't see why not. In the summer, I will be taking Bill and Ted, my red and my black velvet skulls, to work. Wilbur has had a couple of outings. It's just ways to keep your personality and your identity without having to wear everything all at once. There are ways of doing it. So yeah, accessories. Even down to things like your glasses. I've got several pairs of glasses. I've got some quite gothic cat eye ones that help my outfits look a little bit better. I've got these. I've got some slightly squarer ones. Those little bits and pieces. Sorry, I keep getting distracted by something at the bottom screen. I do apologise. When you're wearing your accessories, think about, what have I got? Could this be taken as a cult symbol that me being goth is going to be, suddenly I'm, sacrificing goats on my neighbour's desk when she's not in the office, or things like that. So accessories can certainly make an outfit more gothic. Plain, if you're going for something like I do, which is the plain dresses and the cardigans and blazers, then I will always chuck on a couple of gothic necklaces and still feel like I'm me, but I'm still appropriate for the job that I do. What's next? How many letters are there left in the world, ALPACA? C, coverage. Now this is slightly different to length, and everyone's going to go, this is an obvious one. But check what policies you have at work around what you can wear. We have no particular clothing policies at work. We don't have any tattoo policies, piercing policies, hair colour policies, none of it. Most of the people I work with are quite mainstream. I think we've got 2 engineers that have got full sleeve tattoos. I know one of our very, very senior managers has got quite a few tattoos, but they're all kind of chest pieces, so they're hidden. So, yeah, check what your policies are, and then make sure that with C, for coverage, you abide by them. The last thing you want is to have the attitude of, well, I've got a tattoo so tough they can see it. Like I said, have a company that don't have any policies. They know I have ink. They don't really care. Some companies, certainly the one I came from, big corporate company, hundreds of thousands of employees, hate the fact that anyone even thinks of having a tattoo, let alone has one on display. So those sorts of things. Have you got arm tattoos that need to be covered? Have you got enough length in your sleeve that covers it to make it appropriate? I find with my tattoos, they are mine. They're for me. They're not really for anybody else. Obviously, certain ones you're going to see. But certainly things like my leg tattoos, people don't even know at work that I've got my legs tattooed because they never come out. They're always in thick black tights or they're in leggings. So yeah, think about coverage. Make sure that you've covered anything that would be deemed inappropriate. And make sure, girls, your boobs are covered. Please. In the corporate world, you don't want to have things hanging out. It's not deemed appropriate. You don't want to be leaning over somebody's desk to tell them off and the guys are all sitting there going, it's just not done. And I'm not saying always wear turtlenecks and have it up to here. You're not nuns. But like, I've worn this one to work. It is quite low cut, but it has the lace. I know what I wore yesterday. I wore my crossed out dress that has the cross here. Yes, it shows a little bit of cleavage, but the rest of me was completely covered. Therefore, it's not inappropriate to have a little bit of mesh here. So make sure that you're covered in the appropriate areas. Make sure that you're covering anything like tattoos, piercings, skin dermals, anything like that, branding if you've got branding, that if you do have a company policy around coverage of tattoos, piercings, please don't argue with it. Times are changing, but there are still some companies out there that are very, very much, you know, we don't want to see it. If you want to lose your job, then fine. If you want to push the boundaries, fine. If you want to talk to people about it and get them to maybe open up a little bit more, fine. I find the less you push it in somebody's face, the more accepting they are. Certainly with my last company, I 99.9% of the time in the office had fairly long sleeves and was covered up. There were times in the office when I took my cardigan on and had a dress like this, and because of those times where I'm covered up, they didn't really make a big fuss when I wasn't, or if it was in the office and we didn't have clients in or anything like that. So it's far better to do things gradually. If you are trying to push boundaries with work, it's a lot more acceptable these days to have tattoos and all that kind of body modification going on. But just be aware that there are still companies out there that don't like that showing for their brand. So make sure, if there is a policy, that your outfit covers anything that needs to be covered. Okay, and the last one in the world of the ALPACA is acceptance. And I've touched on this a little bit throughout, really. When you're choosing your outfits or you're buying new clothes for work and you're looking at it, what is deemed acceptable? And I know everyone should have free choice and wear what the hell they like. And wouldn't it be amazing if we could all have neon mohawks and spikes and go into work and just be ourselves, or wear fluffy slippers and pyjama bottoms? But make sure that it's acceptable, not just to the company you're representing, but also the clients that you may have to see. In my job, I can be called out to a client on a daily basis. I may not see a client for 6 months. I might get called in to work tomorrow and then get told Monday I'm in London. It's an unpredictable job. So I have to make sure that whatever I'm wearing to work is acceptable to the people I'm around. We have a gentleman who's just joined us who's fairly religious. I'm not going to go out of my way to go and find something with an upside down cross on it and, you know, all that sort of stuff just to offend him. Honest. It depends how much he annoys me. No, I wouldn't. It's not that. We've got a lad in our office who's Sikh. You know, I'm not going to wear anything that would offend him. And quite nicely recently, I spoke to him and said, he was staring at my ink work. And I said, oh, sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but do you have a problem? I'm quite happy to put my cardigan back on. And he went, oh no, it's just in my religion, we're not allowed tattoos. So I love looking at other people's artwork. I think some of yours is really beautiful. And we got talking about it. And, you know, he's not shoving his religion in my face. I'm not shoving the fact that I've got ink, piercings and I'm a goth in his face. It's just that way of being having acceptance of each other. I wear black every day to the office. I've had quips about it. I wear New Rocks every day to the office, or Doc Martens to the office. I have on the occasion worn Killstar shoes to the office. Nobody says anything because they're now to the point where they're so used to it, and I'm not going out of my way to wear something that would allow somebody to make a comment about my outfit, that it's become acceptable to people. And I haven't gone out of my way to, must make sure that I wear tights that I don't wear tights and I can show my tattoos off in the summer. It's not who I am anyway. But I think that by showing that bit of maturity and knowing that you've got all your evenings, all your weekends, all your summer holidays with your kids to go and be yourself and do what you want to do and show your tattoos off, or show, you know, put a bit of blue streaks in your hair, whatever you want to do is fine for that environment. But for those 40 hours a week, sometimes it's just worth curbing the acceptance of your outfits and we are becoming much more acceptable, having much more acceptance of other people. I don't go into the office and berate somebody's outfit because they're wearing, you know, jeans and a blouse that they like with a coordinated top or coordinated cardigan, and they wouldn't dream of coming and berating my outfit. The way I've done it is that I wear now a lot more daring outfits than I used to. I used to wear some very, very plain dresses that I picked up from Yours Clothing, Simply Be, just plain black dresses that I would accessorise. These days I do pretty much wear Killstar every day. But I've been there over a year. They know who I am. It's just making sure that you're not offending people and making sure that when you put an outfit together that you know every single person in that operation or in your company will look at you and go, yes, that's acceptable for what we do. So I will be covering these a little bit more. I will do them certainly in my styling session, which I will do next week. So I'm going to get some Killstar dresses, I'm going to get some of my normal dresses and some of my tops and cardigans and blazers and things that I wear with them. Just show you how you can pair them up and how you can still look alternative and gothic without having to break the bank, and without having to go all out with everything you own. So yeah, that is the alpaca. So those are appropriate. Is it appropriate for the job you do? Length. Is it the right length for what you do? Is your top long enough to cover yourself if you reach up? Plain. The plainer the outfit, the more professional it will look. Accessorise, but don't offend. So make sure when you're doing your accessories, you're not doing anything that could be deemed occultish in any way. And I've just lost my page. C. Coverage. Make sure if you've got things on your body like tattoos or piercings or anything like that needs to be covered up, especially the puppies, that you covered, and make sure that your outfit is acceptable to everyone in the office. You don't want to alienate people. There's enough of that going on in the world. Let's try not to do it in the place where we probably spend 60% of our lives is at work. So that is that. That's part one done, dusted, and I'm going to leave it there for the evening. Yeah, come and join me for part two, which will be next week, and I will let you know when part three will be, which will be my accessories additions to those styling outfits. And what I'll try and do is do the outfits in part two and then keep those outfits together. I'll take pictures of them as I go, and then the following one in part three, I'll put the accessories together and make the outfit for you. So as always, Ravens, until I see you next time, stay beautiful.